Alright, I missed most of the morning. See if there's anything in here. Little channel working up here. 2 legs to a new high. This feels more like a little range than anything. Second entry short. Let's see what we got here. Possible overshoot. If you look at it that way. Can't see what I'm doing. Or if you look at it like that, more of a range breakout downtrend type deal. If this initial range resistance is turning into support, a nice little second entry short would make a lot of sense. Man, I'm tired. Definitely wasn't an overshoot. Wouldn't have behaved like that. So we just had a little bit of a just kind of ranging around this, around VWAP and bouncing back and forth above and below EMA. Doesn't really seem to be a strong direction. We're still, less than 10 points from where we opened, so not a ton going on today. News-wise, there's a bunch of news at 5:30, which is what you see here. PPI, unemployment. Let's see if we can stay below EMA. Set up for a short. VIX is up a little, 13.7. .49% stability. Seems like it would be higher, just visually based on Back above VMA. False breakout here. It's kind of chopping around, huh? Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Spike. Channel up. So you got a new low for the downtrend, but you got a spike channel working higher here above VWAP. Get this working lower. It's more of a clear cut and dry move up on NQ.
For most studios, for the most part, it might. I have no idea. I think it's going to be slowing down a little bit, so it's going to be some support. Although people are going to be traveling here and there, like in the next coming days. So.
Well, the only thing that we'll have to send to you in like the next week is like 3 executions, 2 of which are sneakers. But yeah, there's not a lot that's going to be coming in probably this year. We've had to push dates back, I think. I'll give you an update outside of this call since I know that's not the purpose for this.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I've been hearing great things about you guys from a few people because I've been chatting with a lot of Jordan folks lately. All to say that Jordan has got it together. So shout out to all of you guys.
I felt that when I came over from the Nike side.
I know you did. It's pretty telling too. So I love the process so far. But we are revisiting because we have some fantastic news that you guys already know, which is that Naoki is a digital producer now. So what does that mean for your guys' workflow now that you have a third person on? And I think that question can be answered fairly easy if we look at our current processes. But I'm also looking to pick your brains, and I see a cute little dog behind you, Felicia. He's about to snuggle. I can't. But yes, so I wanted to quickly share. Dog first. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, but it's hard. Yeah. Well, now it's like a little weird strip for me. I don't know if it's like that for anyone else. Oh, there we go.
Okay, cool. I'm using two screens and getting. Okay. So this is what we've gathered. So with the help of Naoki and with the help of Caitlin and Hillary and Monica, obviously, I'm able to kind of visualize how everybody works. So I want you guys to just take a look. Let me know if anything is weird, if you guys have some changes, if I'm missing people. But for the most part, really, now that the update is out, Naoki is digital producer. He's kind of working here, but he's very hybrid. And Naoki, you're here, and I'm talking about you like you're not here. But he's basically very hybrid, which means with the work that you guys have coming down, it's not a lot all the time. So how do we start plugging Naoki in? Do you guys have any advice?
Interesting. I knew you were becoming a digital producer. I didn't realize you were going to be supporting Jordan. So that's exciting. Are you supporting like Nike too, or are you just kind of filling in, or how does that work?
For me, my main role ever since I stepped up from our team has always been to support Jordan, and that's for the most part going to be my main priority. I want to say there'll be that small, I want to say 5 to 10% of the time where it would fill the condition that there isn't a lot of Jordan work on the board, but there is a lot of other work coming in from the Nike side. That's where I can help step in. For me, my responsibility is just to make sure your guys' stuff is streamlined, it's being delivered to the geos, everything is good. There's input coming from us for from a content ops perspective. That's my bucket that I have to fill. And what becoming a digital producer does, not just for me but for other people on their own fields of play, is to elevate that support from global content ops onto the brand. I guess for me, obviously, it's specifically for Jordan Brand. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, and Felicia, to your point, we try to move Naoki to different studios, and he's like, I'm staying with Jordan. So I don't think he's leaving. That's home base for him. But I actually just realized maybe I should go through the new work chart so you can kind of see how this is moving. So I'm going to try to make this bigger. This is me. I recently transitioned over here under Alex. So I'm completely handling resourcing for digital production. So this is everybody under, and everybody on this strip here used to be a content specialist, but got promoted to, or I'm not even going to say promoted, transitioned over to a digital producer.
I see a lot of names on here.
They're all going to start receiving training from our senior digital producers, but as you guys know, sometimes it's just about jumping in. And I think Naoki can certainly help you guys in that space and maybe learn from you guys. So wherever it is that you guys need a little more help that goes beyond authoring, is there a space like that within this process actually? I'll let you guys look at it. But this is what I have following Monica's conversation with me. It was, once marketing gets in, it goes straight to designer, where the designer gets wireframes. Then the designer and brand creative, they do a shot list. Then the writer and brand creative, they actually shoot it and they start thinking about copy. Brand creative does the photo shoot. Does this all look pretty generic? Okay, cool.
I mean, we also have like an outline that was passed to me when I started from Clarissa of just like our workflow as a digital producer in Jordan too. So if that's helpful, we can share that with you, Nancy.
That'd be amazing. Okay, cool. And I think my other question for you guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. If there isn't anything else, but where is there room for streamlining? Where can we be better?
With like digital production or authoring, or in terms of what?
Yeah, digital production.
Yeah. I know, Colton, do you have any?
Hi, Joanna. Yeah. It's good to meet you. Naoki is my favorite first.
He's everybody's favorite. Amazing.
And Memo. I really love Memo. Well, they're the only ones I've worked with, so I just love them. But yeah, congrats, Memo or Naoki on this shift. I hope it's a good thing. It seems like it's a really good thing. John, I'm curious. Like, is the end goal not just with Naoki, but like all the transitions to digital producers? Is the end goal to have like kind of like Felicia and I are resourced to, individual projects, right? Like we don't, for the most part, unless we're on PTO, we don't overlap a project. Is the end goal kind of here to like resource Naoki to projects in that same way, or is it a sense of like a little bit back to your hybrid comment of like it is the intention to like inject a very specific role within many of our projects? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a good question because the honest part of me is I would love for Naoki to learn from you guys, and that's not a part of your workload. I can't ask you guys, hey, like please mentor Naoki, but I think it's a good space for him to learn from you guys. Besides, he also really wants to stay in Jordan. It would be amazing if you guys could support, but also he's so hybrid that it's a great opportunity for him to actually support you guys during these like high level, weird moments. And then Naoki, I'll turn it to you too. Like, how are you thinking about involving yourself with Felicia and Colton?
Yeah, I think one thing I want to like lay is like context here for both Felicia and Colton is that I want to say like a year ago, or not even a year ago, like 6 months ago, when there was like these big shifts going in from like other members of the team, it was a moment for our specific team to realize that some of the issues that we would have within authoring could be solved with having what we would call our leads back in the day, like in the fields of play, giving input on like, hey, like let's like this won't work, but let's do XYZ, right? And so now that from Johanna seeing like showing that org chart, like a lot of us leads being moved into those like digital producer spaces. I want to say specifically for kids, men's, women's, and brand creative, brand initiative. Those were leads that weren't necessarily like familiar with how to like navigate the space, but if like we're being honest, like when I stepped into Jordan, that's something I felt like I had to do, right? And so now in this space, it's like, how do we figure out to make that process like better? And I feel like what's been helping me that you guys have been doing, like for the most part, has been like including me into the review phases, like, and having like open conversations with either Amir or Anthony on like, hey, we wanted to try this part, and like Colton, I know like we were like messing around with like the P1 tout stuff, like, and I mentioned this to you, it's like I would love to continue to do more of that, like helping you guys push whatever plans you guys want on like a Jordan brand marketing level, whether it be like, oh, let's try out this like new tout, or let's try out this new afternoon, or like having like a sit down of, we're going to toss you like 50 different assets and we're going to see what like works and what doesn't work. would love to continue to do more of that, and I think that's just like we're trying to get as an example of what we're trying to get with our leads becoming digital producers. That was the yap session there, but like please let me know if there's like any questions on that.
I think it's really exciting. You already, I mean, you have so much knowledge that Felicia and I don't have. You know, we kind of stop at like final cut assets, right? And then, you know, what happens after that is like a black box. And so I think like you bringing your expertise into review stage, and like you've already been doing this, but like it's just more of that is always going to help. I think you probably already know what we do, a lot of what we do. You're extremely talented and smart. But yeah, I think just if there are more ways that you want to be involved in the projects that we have going on, you know, mine is for summer is SPP. Happy to include you in as much or all that you want to be in, just to kind of soak in more, and can kind of like, I don't know that I have like a solid answer. Maybe Felicia has a better idea, but I don't know exactly like you know what would be like the best route to go, but like I think just like trial and error. Let's just see what lands and what sticks, and you know I could see a world where like Naoki's taking on his own project, you know, very soon.
Yeah, we have a lot, I think, for fall, which we'll soon. I just had a meeting with Nushi, and I probably need to connect on that. But I guess, like, what's your bandwidth like right now, Naoki? Like, if we start inviting you, like, to meetings or just, like, shadow, like, do you have the time to do that?
I will definitely have the time. Like if that we have a lot of support on our authoring team already, and understanding that that's going to continue to grow. So that would also mean I don't have to author as much anymore. As a matter of fact, I think the whole goal of this is to push us leads away from ever having to author. Well, not ever having to author, but there's definitely parts where it's like I love the team, but I trust this to put in like my hands as an example, like a CDP for an example, right? But that would also mean like I would have really a lot more free time to help you guys out with whatever project management there has to be, or like for me just to like be a fly on the wall bird for you guys. So in terms of like looking to the future of probably both summer and fall for like at the moment, like I would definitely have the bandwidth to help you guys out.
Okay, great. Right now I am like in the middle of a crazy mess of what is 40 years of greatness. I don't necessarily know if you want to be thrown into that. I'm more than happy to add you onto the reviews, but we should be like receiving deliverables for my summer campaign, which I'm on week before. So that's like going to be probably starting from like the beginning of the process. That might be probably a better one for you to shadow and like sit on. I don't think for like the foreseeable future there's going to be like a ton, but I'm more than happy to include you on that stuff.
I'd love to be in those if that's cool.
Yeah, great. I'll even like start. I'll talk to our studio manager and like just let her know kind of what's going on. I don't know if you want to like even join Slack channels and stuff like that too. A lot of like the conversation that's happening in the Slack is like very creative focused, and I honestly don't follow because it hasn't really hit me yet in terms of like my work production stuff. But I think probably like communicating with like the studio managers and getting them involved and kind of up to date on like this new process and what's happening will be helpful on our side.
I think to tack onto that as well, Jenna, I don't know if you may have already had conversations with Danusha, but if not, I think that would be helpful as well, just to connect with Felicia and I's boss.
Yeah, that one was tricky because I was like, wait, so Randy, are you managing them? Who's managing them?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I have not talked to her yet.
Except for, I would say Randy's definitely more in the weeds and knows and understands what Colton and I do, although Danusha's like more high level, technically our manager.
Okay.
So I don't know if like probably maybe both of them, like have a meeting with both of them would be helpful, because Randy could also help guide that conversation with Danusha.
Oh, totally. Okay. That's a great shout. I will also say that this isn't just happening to Jordan, it's happening to all the studios. And like Naoki said, with the goal for it to be better, a better process. Because if we have our very intelligent in authoring and now digital production in those meetings, now you guys kind of have somebody to be like, hey, we can't actually do that. We can do that, you know, or maybe we could ask capabilities if they can make something happen, you know, things like that. So every single studio is starting to move digital producers, new digital producers into these spaces. So wherever you guys can invite him, where you can learn the lingo, which I'm pretty sure he already knows it, and just jump in would be amazing. But cool.
I'm wondering, like, when new placements and stuff like that comes up, if like we almost just set up a meeting with like our creative team and like our GA to kind of like work through it together, just so like they understand all the capabilities. I think like pulling off the middleman and like having visual references and like having a discussion with like a larger group on that, I think that would probably be helpful.
On specs or
no, just like new placements, like that full like bleeding house that's like the and just like almost
so more like like CMS updates basically.
Yeah, like capabilities of like what could you, because like we communicate them to the team, but I also feel like there's so much always going on that like it's just a Slack message, like kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Like people don't like necessarily like remember to like reference back to it, but it's like a meeting and like discussing and talk through it and capabilities and like how many, if you can have CTAs on all of these, like I think it's just going to be more helpful in terms of streamlining like new opportunities and new placements.
Yeah, I think Naoki being in those spaces is going to be helpful, but I will say, just coming from capabilities, that a lot of the times we've already heard some of the things that people want, but our engineers are so stuck on, like right now, for example, holidays, all those phrases is them being like, don't break anything. And then here comes spring, and then here comes fall, and then they'll maybe do 1, 2, 3 updates. Otherwise, they're just completely working on back end stuff. And they're needing resourcing. So it's like it's pretty crazy. And I hate telling people like, it's not you, it's them. It's more of like, they have to kind of sort that out, and they're doing it on their end, but phase 2 really did a number on products. So there's that. But yes, this was a wonderful conversation. I think our biggest moments here are going to be we're moving Naoki into these spaces with you guys. And we're going to see how this works. And I'd love to meet with you guys again just to see how the process could be better, because you're going to find some pain points and we're going to want to streamline those. So expect another call from production, being just me and Naoki.
So for next steps, do you want to have that conversation with Randy and Danusha, and then like once that happens, then we can kind of start working him into work streams?
Definitely. I'm going to have a talk with them both and see where we can meet. All right. Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Naoki, is there anything else that we're missing? Did you want to chat through anything?
Even on my end, just to say thank you all for being so open to this, though. I'd understand if this is a little left field, but you know, we're all here to like help each other out, right? So yeah, that's all I want to say.
As long as you're not taking my job, we're good. I'd love to have you on the team.
No, he's gonna make your job easier, I promise. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys soon. Let you guys know what happens.
It's good to meet you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Yo.
What up, dog?
You can have my job, dude. Anytime.
Maybe.
This is exciting. I think they should just throw you on like your own project.
I think like from a personal standpoint, like what Johanna said about like me trying to go to other teams, like I think just for me, like just Jordan just has the most potential to be so different, and I like that, and all the stuff that all the stuff that Jordan work does, I think it's just much cooler. Like that's just me though. But I get that there's a little bit more stress involved with it. But and the one thing I didn't say in the other call that I think I should have mentioned was, I'm pretty sure you guys know, but Jordan was a lot more of a headache to deal with. Like what we're seeing right now, like to me, is just leagues better than what we had. That's not to say that like it can't get any better.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to have, like, obviously I don't have the historical perspective of what it was. I know what Nike North America was, but we never chatted. Like we authoring was a black box. Like never talked to authoring over there. So this is cool. Real quick though, I had a little mini freak out when you guys started talking about holiday authoring. I was like, oh shit, I haven't really checked with you at all. SPP stuff is coming in for batch 2. I think I told you that this week. So it's supposed to start hitting you today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still we're 9 weeks out for that. So are there any hesitations there with
no videos, right?
No.
Okay. And then if it's 9 weeks out, I'm assuming go live is it starting February?
Let me see, one sec.
If it's SPP.
First go live, it's flow product, so it's like 2/16 is the first date.
I'm assuming then that this isn't this is like a hard product release date where okay, this is when the Jordan, okay, so this is almost close to what lookbook stuff is. No stress.
Yeah, it is exactly. It's exactly lookbook. The first, they're just supposed to start flowing this batch 2 stuff on 2/16.
This
2/17
is actually really good for us, just because there's probably going to be time where people are going to be working during when stuff's on the slowdown.
Okay.
This is something for people to do. I did mention that there's going to be a lot of people starting to travel next week, though. I'm taking tomorrow off to travel, but after that, it's completely work from home for me. So if there's any any immediate, we need to get this shit out the way.
Nothing for me. That stuff might come from Felicia. She's on the 40 years stuff.
I do understand that there's that app thread, but I'm not too worried about it just because I'll be at my computer for every day except when Nike's off. So
cool.
Me personally, I'm not too worried about it.
Sweet. For the only other thing that I'm on is the Air Series stuff, and we have 3 batches total. You've already done the first one.
Okay.
The second one is a mini batch. It's got literally it's 2 app threads. That's it. And those are hopefully those are going to be delivered to you next week.
Okay.
So just say middle to end of the week, and that would be 6 to 6.5 weeks out. There is also no real hard go live with those app threads. It's a sustained moment. We just need to get it.
Okay.
Get it to the geos.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third batch to wrap Air Series up will not be delivered to y'all until the second week of January. So the week of the 13th, probably the end of that week.
Okay.
And at that point, it will be 6 weeks out.
We'll be good. By the time we come back, I want to say the week after New Year's, like we'll be like
Cranking.
we'll be ready to go.
Cool.
100%. We'll be at 100% power. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say.
Dope. Anxiety back to normal now.
All right. Hey, that's enough work.
I was like, honestly, oh my god, I haven't even checked with him. So thanks for hopping on.
For sure. No, for sure. Yeah, I think we will be here, and because of how, like, again, like Jordan Works stream has kind of been a lot more redefined, like because of that, I have no worries on seasonal product packs. I'll pick up like work here and there, but if I like feel like there is a need to get stuff out, like whether it be like my OCD or something like that, like I wouldn't worry about it. It's gonna we'll hit our deadlines for sure.
And I don't know if we haven't. I don't think we've chatted summer, but dude, summer is super light. Like, be prepared to have a lot of downtime. Like,
all right,
summer SPP is gonna be called something different, but it's gonna be the same thing, and it's half. It's like half the deliverables. So like we had 6. If we had 6 for spring, we've got 3 now for summer.
In my honest opinion, I think it's kind of needed just because I don't know how much you're aware of this, but ever since I started working, there's always been an issue revolving how much geos actually use global creator content. So this, I think, helps with that for sure.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like we're just like doing stuff for no reason.
How much money gets thrown into making these photo shoots not to like ever see the light of day, right?
Yeah,
so
it sucks.
It's my opinion.
No, I mean, it's not really an opinion. It's like pretty factual, actually. Anyways, all exciting. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help what year after in the meantime. I think it'll be interesting that it'll be interesting to see how it works with like you laddering up to Joanna and then us laddering up to somebody different with like the same, I think it seems like the same goal of like kind of doing the same thing. It's definitely a way to do it. I think it'll just be interesting. Joanna seems really cool though.
Yeah, she's been helping refine our processes ever since she's joined the team. So a lot of this stuff, like a lot of changes that's come from our side to Jordan's side, has kind of been inspired from like how she's changed a lot of the stuff too. So it's more like she's finally meeting like the Jordan side, just because I think due to the nature of Jordan, it's always been like siloed, but it's never been like a field of play. Rather, it's trying to like it's its own brand, right?
Yeah.
But it lives within like Nike's like digital ecosystem. So it's kind of some like weird ways to go about things here, but yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I think like I said, like this like Jordan space is just so cool. So seeing what's going to happen in the next few months is going to be interesting to me. But
yeah, we what's your I want to ask this because I don't want to start pitching ideas for things that you don't want. So like in terms of like you working from home in the office, like do you want to be in the Jordan building or not? Like, because if not, I won't say a word about it. But if you do,
I go to campus anyways, so it is not an issue for me. Like I would love to sit in person in those meetings too.
Cool.
If it's like comfortable with like other people like there too. And I'd say like comfortable in the sense of like if there's anything that's like keep it tight type of stuff, like that's like my feelings most of the time with the Jordan stuff is like, okay, like there's some parts where they don't want us to like there's a clear line of boundary where they want us to stay here and that's their side. I don't want to cross that to cause any issues. But for me, my personal feelings is like it'd be super from a personal level and just like from work level, I think it'd be helpful for me to be in those meetings in person just to like just show presence, if anything.
It 1000% makes a difference to, at least, especially for Jordan people, to like be there in person. So I will make an effort to make sure you're invited in person to anything of mine. But I didn't want to do it if like, I don't know, if like your goal is to stay remote, like, you know what I mean? I just didn't know. So.
Oh yeah, no, right now I'm like when I'm work from home, it's probably because I'm sick or I'm preparing for a trip. So cool. It's like I'm at the office for a long majority of the time anyway. So
sounds good, dude.
Office. Yeah, that's office, I guess. Yeah.
Well, thanks for the connect. I'm excited. I'm excited for what this could be.
Sure, man. I'm excited too.
I'm trying to actually think. This is a very random thought. Do you happen to know, did we author that P1 carousel yet?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I QA'd it or not.
I believe so. I think I pushed it.
Yeah, because you would have been the one to author it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just blanking whether or not I saw it or not. Okay.
Do you remember the name of it?
I'll go back in and look. Don't worry about it. I'll look in your table, just to clear my conscience. But I'm pretty sure we did. Because that'll be something people
are probably gonna be talking
about. Are definitely gonna be. They're not necessarily looking out for it because they've definitely forgotten about it by now. But once it pops, it'll be a topic.
I'm gonna check the recent two. Okay, well, I have a tout under my name, so I'm assuming that's the one. Let's see. Yeah, we offered it.
Okay,
and send it off. I can send you the Airtable name here as well, just to show like this is what we're tracking.
Perfect. There it is. Okay, cool. What's the, like, I get with something like this,
mm-hmm.
Do you have any visibility into like, okay, cool, we built it and like passed it off to the geos, but like after that, do we have any visibility to know like, did somebody on like the North America Jordan team go rogue and either not use this or like do something different? Like is there visibility into that we have?
That's $1 million question, Jose. That is a question on the money. And the reason why, like not a big part, but a piece of the pie as to why like they produce like our team has been changed to producers is to kind of like alleviate like those issues. Short answer, no.
Okay.
Other short answer, I can tell you who might, and those are the NA digital specialists.
Yeah.
So I believe, like specifically, obviously for NA, like Kevin Chang, right? Like, if you wanted to figure out if NA was gonna like adopt that, that would be the person to ask.
Okay. I'll probably start that conversation with our global specialist to see I'm curious to like pick their brain and see how much they're talking to their counterpart.
I
Like
believe what is his name? His name is Jack, right?
Jack Bozak.
If I remember correctly, he was actually working alongside Kevin, so
Okay.
he would probably give you good insight, specifically for a name. I can't say for ATLA or EMEA.
He's a good dude. He and Josh Rosen, I don't know if you know Josh. They're both from the North America squad. Super, super nice guys.
Josh is cool. I like. Yeah, I've met with Josh a couple of times already, and he's. I think like everyone else on like even with like everyone else on the Jordan team, I just like how they're just open and receptive to everything too.
Yeah, Josh is like definitely of the mindset of trying to improve things, which is, you know, always helpful to have that mentality.
Agree.
All right, man. I stayed home this morning because I went too hard last night.
Okay.
At the holiday party. I don't drink very regularly, and I forgot that last night. So I'm staying home this morning. I'm gonna drive in this afternoon.
Get some tea. Stay warm. It's raining, so
yeah. I got a little space. I got a little space heater right here at my feet.
I'm talking about.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
Peace, Colton.
Later.
Hello.
Hi.
How's the rest of your night?
I forgot that I don't drink very often, Felicia.
I don't know. I felt like weird. Yeah, I didn't end up drinking that much. I just like it was not in the mood. I had like 1.5 drinks. I was fine. But yeah, no, I feel that because last week my sister and I went out and it's rough these days. Did you drink a lot?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like relative. I had 3 drinks. I had like a couple Manhattans and a G&T, and I was fine, and I'm still fine today. But I'm not okay.
Have some water.
Yeah, I need to eat. Actually, I haven't eaten yet this morning. Yeah, I slacked Anusha. I was like, I had a lot of fun last night. I'm gonna stay home this morning.
I mean, we have our holiday party tonight again. Like,
Yeah, I mean, logistically, it's like it doesn't make sense to go in and then go home. So I'm just gonna go this afternoon and stay through tonight.
What time is the party? You're gonna be like hanging out there for a while, aren't you? Isn't it like later?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's at 6:30.
From home. Yeah, it's at 6:30. Like you don't want to stay in the office till 6:30, do you?
That's fair. Yeah, I might need to come up with another plan. I do feel.
Oh, but Kamia's there today.
I do feel pressure to go in for my air review because they're gonna be there. So.
Yeah, I have a review today also that I am taking from home. So.
Yeah, she asked me last night to get them all guest like registered.
Do you know how to do that?
I just asked Ashley to do it. I don't.
That works.
I to my credit, I did ask if she could let me know how to do it, and she just did it for me. So.
I can let you know how to do it if you need to. I have it bookmarked. It's not difficult. You just have to enter their names and emails and time they're coming.
Got it. Yeah. So, anyways, I feel pressure to. I'm gonna go in for that, but.
That's fair. You told her you were gonna be there, so yeah. I told her I was not gonna be there.
Why I did that to myself? I don't know.
Well, I just knew we had our holiday party too, so I was just like, with the dogs, like yeah.
Yeah.
I either go to the holiday party and stay home, or I don't go to the holiday party and go to work. So.
Well, also, isn't this week? This week is your work from home week, right?
Oh yeah, I took flex weeks the rest of the year. So I should have taken them sooner because apparently the last 2 weeks everyone gets.
I thought that same thing. I was like, man, I could have taken all in November.
It's okay. It could have been nice, like when I was like not busy at all, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm slammed. I'd kind of rather be in the office. But
it was fun to meet your sister. She seems really cool.
Yeah, we're very, very close, which is great.
Age-wise, she's older than you, yeah?
Yeah.
Older sister?
Yeah, except for everyone, literally everyone always thinks I'm the older one, which is, I know it's bizarre. Like, I get, like,
really?
some people stop, but it's every single time, like, everyone always thinks I'm older. I'm like, I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm taller than her.
Oh, yeah. This Julian thing.
Yes.
I opened up the document and realized pretty much all he's mainly asking for my crap. Like, there's a few things that
For like the organic stuff.
Yeah, like
the deliverables.
Yeah, the deliverables are like SPP deliverables for the most part.
I briefly looked at it. Oh yeah, Foreign, Zion. Yeah, all this is
The AJ39 Heritage. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. So I worked on AJ39. That's a spring colorway. So like when we shot globally, they shot across all seasons. Like I know like they have gifts for like every single colorway in like spring and summer. So Heritage, I believe, was a spring colorway. And I think they shot like Product Superiority assets too earlier this year. So that's a campaign that I worked on, my first campaign when I got here. Yeah, sound like honey. So I guess like when you look at these executions, are these net new or are these something you've already done before that like you needed different specs? It's also really confusing because in like column C, it all says full screen tout, but then when you look at placement, it's all different. Like, did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Like the full screen tout isn't accurate.
Yeah. And it's stuff like that like it really throws me off. I don't know. I'm just like so detail oriented that like I hate looking at documents like this. It drives me crazy when it's like not correct.
FIL, and also I'm noticing. Let me search for this.
FIL. I also have no idea when he needs any of this stuff by. Like, I forwarded that meeting to you. That's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're like discussing because there's flagship tab and then there's an email tab too. And you saw also there's all of the integrated media stuff as well. It's not just this, right? In his first email that he sent out on Friday, he sent a link to the integrated media. There's like a priority tab, which what they're requesting. I'm guessing for every spring campaign. I don't know. It wasn't clear. And then there's another tab that I guess their agency is going through and making sure that they don't need any of those other specs or sizes or whatever. But it's, to me, it seems like a lot. Tanisha did say that RGA like has like a lot of extra time on the retainer, like that it seems like they'd be able to manage it. My concerns is just like the brand creative team being able to oversee this.
Yeah, agreed.
And again, I don't know what the timeline for any of this stuff is, so I think that has a lot to do with it, but I'm sure it's going to be like they need it as soon as possible. And if I'm being honest, like with how 40 years of greatness is going right now, I don't know like how much time I can like
yeah.
Not that I'm like putting it on you or anything, but like I'm definitely like available. But
I had this thought after we hung up on our first call, which spun me into like actually looking through Julian's email.
The first call with Julian, like
no, first call today with Naoki.
Oh, okay.
And I had an idea, and I wonder if we can
pull
him in to like give him like a 70-30 load on this. Like I can manage the overall flow of it, make sure he's set up for success, but then like have him kind of like lead getting this stuff done is one idea that I had, because the best way he's gonna learn how to do it is just like doing it and like hopping in with RGA and managing the conversations and the questions. And this is kind of, I'm viewing this as like a pretty low risk there's this isn't our priority, at least yet. No one's told us like this is like our job, but it's going to be.
I think we're still like trying to figure out which Monica needs to be in this conversation, Randy needs to be in this conversation. Like, if it's not like a one-time thing, this seems like a moving forward like request.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have like a managed expectations of like what we're going to be able to do and like what's going to start falling on our plate and like what RTA can take on and like how this is going to go forward. Because like I'd rather sort all of that out than like randomly get these requests and it just like kind of like throw us like but like even like I just looking at this deliverables, like I still have a lot of questions because like specifically for like Jordan mode, so they have like on the 4RM it says Jordan mode P1 P5 full family. Well, like for me that triggers like there's different Jordan mode like sizes and specs, and it's all based off like how they plan how they want it to be shown on there. Like they need to provide like the specific direction of like, is this going to be an extra large shoe? Is this going to be like, is this going under Jordan, best of Jordan? Or like, I feel like we need that information even to order to like start digital production on this. Like I need to know like specifically like what placement, because that's just like where it's falling on the page, but those are all interchangeable.
Yeah, true.
Order submitted.
I wonder, like in an ideal world, I wonder if this could become like, to go back to my original like Naoki ideas, like he already knows everyone, like that would be able to get all the answers that we have questions for. Like he's like the perfect person to figure out all the specs for Jordan mode. So like I'm wondering.
Well, we have them. I have all the specs and all of the templates. It's just like, how is North America planning this?
True. Yeah.
Because it's the same conversation that I'm having for 40 Years of Greatness, because we have a lot of Jordan mode executions, and like it's the same thing that's like the digital team's not providing me direction. They're just saying they want this, and it's like, okay, then we deliver it, and they're like, that's not what we want. It's like, okay, well, like, what is it exactly what you want? Like,
communicate, people.
Yeah. Oh my God, Colton, it's. Whew. Even like for P too, you feels it. Like it's just I hit a wall. But even like some of these, like they have full family, right? And then they have 3 codes associated to it, so that's full family.
Yeah.
Like a full family like shot of this that they can put, because they're only asking for a P3. So like, how are all 3 of those products being incorporated? Do we even have an asset for that?
Yeah, probably not. Like no. Yeah. Like the answer is no. So.
Yeah.
Is your understanding the same as mine in terms of like Nick's response to this? Like I don't think there's anything for us to necessarily action on right now. We're waiting for.
I was waiting for that call on Tuesday to happen. Okay. I agree. There's nothing for us to action. I think it's good for us to see like an overview of what's being asked and like questions popping into our heads of like kind of what we're talking about now, of like potentially things to ask them. I'm interested in knowing like timelines of like when they need this stuff. Are we authoring all of this? Are we just handing off assets to them? Because I do feel like since we've already gone through the process of like building all of this for global, some of the copy needs should be fairly easy, because you can just pull like what we've already provided, what's already been reviewed by the team. So I'm hoping on that end it's not like a huge copy request. Like it will be a lot faster since we already have like all the approved work. I'm also wondering, like, for some of this, did we already provide it and they're just asking for it in a North America spec? And so we just have to, like, change.
Which, unfortunately, is just going to be like us combing through crap one by one. It's identifying. It's a lot of.
That's what I've been doing with, oh my gosh, it's been driving me crazy. Airtable, Figma, and the deliverables doc that Digital provided. It's all messy. I'm trying to organize Airtables in a way that I can actually comprehend what each execution is, because the way they were inputted is impossible.
Yeah.
Like, all the placements and channels are messed up, so it'll be like, it's sneakers, but it'll say it's on Nike app, so like it's inconsistent. Like, it says sneakers, but it says YouTube is the channel. Like, that's the type of deliverable sheet that was provided to me and entered into Airtable.
Yep.
So I'm like one by one trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, missing executions in Airtable. Not everything was even sent to the geos for authoring.
Yeah.
Or for adoption. So I feel like that's something that needs to be sorted out ASAP, because that has to do with translations. Like, they won't translate it if they're not opted in.
Yeah.
So yeah, the line by line, like, figuring out is very tedious. So that's fun.
I wonder if that's even something that is maybe worth laddering back up to Joanna. Like, hey, you asked us what are the ways to improve. Airtable, like, naming conventions would be a great place to start. Low level, low hanging fruit, because it's a freaking mess to try to find what the hell anything is.
Yeah, I think that's also a conversation with Monica and the Airtable team, because even still, like, the template, because Digital is eventually going to be importing their own executions into Airtable starting in fall, not summer. I talked to Monica about it. But, like, that template that they're working off of, I think, like, even the placements and stuff have changed. So they're not on the Excel template, but they may or may not be in Airtable.
Yeah.
So either, like, we have sneaker interstitials, but there isn't a sneakers interstitial placement. So, like, when it's getting uploaded into Airtable, it's like a module, and it's like very, yeah. I do think we need to, like, almost start like a Word document of, like, every time we catch something, like, adding it to the list of things that need to be imported into Airtable, like as a placement or.
So are you mainly finding that the Excel sheet is actually more updated than Airtable, or vice versa?
Vice versa.
Airtable's more up to date than
There's still things missing in Airtable in terms of, like, putting in correct and accurate information, I would say, without having to, like, add it to the notes and, like, verify what it is. Because I like to use the, like, columns to, like, group things by, because typically how I work is I'll group everything by colorway or, like, by moment, and then by channel. So I'll be like, okay, so for Air Jordan 4M, we have Instagram executions, we have Nike app executions, we have sneakers executions, and so, like, it's all organized that way. Everything that was entered in for 40 Years of Greatness, like, there was different tabs for each moment, and so also, like, the notes was, like, copy and paste error. So, like, I'm having to go off of the launch date to understand, like, what the execution is, and it looks like duplicate executions that are, like, launching on different days. So, like, if we can't understand it, like, one, how the hell is RGA going to input final box links into the right execution? How are geos going to know what any of this is to pull any of the assets? Like, I think it starts with Airtable and, like, making sure, like, when we get deliverables, like, it's very clear, very detailed, and that starts from the Digital team. Like, Jake's really the only one that I've experienced that actually provides, like, very insightful deliverable lists.
A little bit off topic, but you brought up the marketing team. Freaking Carlo.
Oh God.
He still hasn't responded to me.
He's responding to me, but I think it's because he has to. I don't know. I need to have a call with him today too. I need to set up some time.
We made about like a 3-second awkward eye contact last night from across the room, and Jenny knows him too, and from Ascend, and
Jenny, think of him.
she doesn't have any contact. She likes him. We know his. She knows his wife, and like they're fine. Like they're really nice. But it's super annoying that he won't respond to me.
Yeah. Are you like just like bypassing him or?
Yeah, the last note I sent to the group channel that I think I screenshotted the whole thing to you, but like all I want is your approval, and so if you're not going to give me your approval with like 5 messages, I just ended up saying like, hey, we're delivering on tomorrow. Thanks.
I mean, I'm almost like positive he's checked out and not going to be working, and like
yeah, and they're in a really tough spot. Anybody in New York is. Humana, I don't think Humana is gonna be.
Oh really?
Moving.
How do you know by now? Isn't that like weeks away?
I made the mistake 2 drinks in last night to ask her.
That's not a mistake. I mean,
I felt really bad because she I could tell she was like, I don't know, maybe she hasn't told many people, or I think I asked anticipating like, oh, you guys are gonna be, in Portland with us, and then like,
I really like her. I mean, I haven't worked with her, but she's very like charismatic and like very personable.
Yeah, it seems like Felicia, because I asked them both in the
Is
same.
She New York also?
Yeah, Felicia is moving here. It sounds like. Anyways, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we can hold off. But yeah, Naoki pulling him in on this is probably really smart. I didn't even think about that. That is like so out of mind for me. I'm wondering if maybe we invite him then to that call. Should I forward that invite?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And we'll do that. Okay, and then I did have my one-on-one with Denisha today, and she wants us to kind of figure out like workload and like campaigns that we want to work on for fall. So she was saying, which I mean I'm aligned with. I think we're both like fairly open. I'm not like I don't ever think very strongly one way or another of like
I don't care.
So she was thinking like every 2 seasons we like swap and like cause the brand impact, the big campaign should be like every 2 seasons. So like we just like kind of swap that. So that would put you on. I don't have the names in front of me. She said she was going to send them to me, but she said that you had a Figma board of like all of the workload that you're working on for Ben.
Yeah.
Of like which like how that workflow is going to fall on this for fall. But the big one has AJ40 and like 2 other under it. It seems like there's a lot of fall campaigns.
Yeah, I'm looking at my doc's not super accurate at the moment, but yeah.
Because I'm wondering if also like it would be good to like put Naoki on his own like smaller one for like because he'll have a summer season beneath him by then. If that makes sense or not. Or like for like 2 of us to like completely tag team for entire season. Yeah.
Did you have your one-on-one before or after the call with Joanna?
Before. It was at 9.
Because I'm wondering, I think a lot of this is just gonna ride on like this, because it's a little bit odd, that he reports to somebody else that and if he's trying to beat us,
I thought that was weird too. You asked exactly the same question that I was curious about. It's almost like he's a third digital producer on our team, but then why wouldn't he sit on our team?
Yeah, and I think it's just gonna come down to she needs to talk to Danusha, and they need to figure out okay, he ladders up to you in Slack, but he really needs to be on this team, sit in our office. And I zoomed with him afterwards to point blank ask him hey, what do you want out of this? Because I don't want to pitch something. I don't want to pitch something hey, we should have him sit on our floor if that's not what he wants.
Even know if that would be feasible though, because if you think about it, if his manager's Joanna, and his salary and his budget and all of that stems over there, would he even have access to a spot on the Jordan team if everything else admin based is not on Jordan? I feel that probably isn't even available, but
yeah, it's a good point. They're just gonna have to figure it out, and it just sounds like they don't really know exactly what they're doing yet.
Yeah, because at that logic, it's almost like you and I should also be on that team and not under Jordan if it all falls under content.
Yeah.
But obviously, we need to be on our floor because that's who we work with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is an interesting. It sounds like he's just gonna be a third digital producer on our team, because if he's not going to be doing authoring and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah. I personally think it's great. I think we could use another hand for the smaller things or just PTO covers. It's more people always help.
Yeah, no, I get that too. So Denise didn't necessarily say when to get back to her about our campaign split and stuff, but she was talking a lot of campaigns, and I'm a visual person, so I need to see it on a piece of paper. So she might send me something, but we should maybe have a follow-up conversation on it.
Yeah, I'm open to whatever, Felicia. It sounds like though, in terms of the projects locking, just with the viz from the thing I'm working on with Ben, it sounds like they're definitely still hammering that out. So I don't know that we necessarily know exactly what's going to be happening. Sounds like Ben's trying to push back.
Yeah, that's what I got from her too, saying that it's too much work.
Yeah.
Especially since we're trying to get all this headcount, right? I think the narrative team is pretty stacked now, but I think the design and art direction team is pretty limited.
Yeah, a lot of words, people. Not a ton of visual people.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go make some eggs.
Okay, wait. Before you go, do you need any of the digital reviews next week, or have you scheduled everything? I'm gonna cancel them. There's one on Monday still, Tuesday, and Thursday. I've scheduled all my reviews for all of this 40 Years of Greatness campaign, so I'm good to cancel all of them for the rest of the year unless you need any of them.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Cancel. Go make yourself some eggs and hopefully you feel better.
Thanks. Yeah, food will help. Thanks for talking through this. It's helpful.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
See you. You'll be there tonight, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going. I think I have an ugly sweater somewhere.
Wait, is it ugly sweater? I don't have an ugly sweater. Okay, I didn't realize that.
You can maybe make a sweater you have already ugly. Jenny and I were talking about this last night, and she said she just put a picture of someone's face sleeping on a sweater and called that an ugly sweater.
That's funny. Yeah. I'll just borrow her sweater.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
It's not back to the EMA. So we get a lower high here. Would have worked. So we get a second entry short on the NQ. Failed second entry short. Higher low. Head back to VWAP. Still within the same downtrend channel, but it's bouncing off here as a triple test. taking some heat here to get below that. Can't. Rules won't let me. In it for better or worse now. Second entry line, test. It's not a good idea.